Is it working? I don't know, but we're gonna try to find out now. It is! Hi! I figured it out, finally. Ignore that my shirt is glitchy. I can see if I can fix that real quick. Alright. See? Fixed. Perfect. So, hello everyone, and welcome to Jared Rates stuff. I still really don't know what this is, but I just want to give this a shot. So, today we are going to be trying something a little different. Since many of you may have known that Kingdom Hearts 3 just came out, I decided, well, by just, it's almost been half a year now. But either way, we are going to rate every single Kingdom Hearts game, which, that'll be fun. This is a bad idea. But essentially, there's not that many, but the story is very confusing. I noticed in the chat that one of my friends was asking what Kingdom Hearts exactly is, followed by someone else saying it's very complicated to explain. This is why. Because, no, why would they release it in order? They decided to go all over the place with this, so I don't even know where to start, so I'm just gonna start normally, if just in the sense of how they were released. Especially since you got re-releases, you got packages, you got more packages, you have packages of those packages together, and you got this weird one. I don't even know, it's just, it keeps going on and on, so instead, we're just gonna focus on this. Now, again, this is all biased. It's all biased, it's all just my opinion. It's Jared Rates, not everyone rates, so, but please let me know in the comments if I get one wrong in your minds, and then we'll both have a little chat and see where we go. So, the first one we're going to be starting with is, of course, Kingdom Hearts first. Now, also, it's complicated, but Final Mix is essentially the official, this is the official one, so I'm only going to be focusing on that, not the ones that we know. Now, Kingdom Hearts 1 was actually my second game of the franchise that I had played. I originally played the second one first, so this is very different to go backwards, but oh well. I mean, the game came out in 2002, so I think for that it really stands up. By this point, the story is very simple to understand, in the sense of how simplistic everything is. So you have just the three main characters, Sora, Kairi, and Riku. And then, oh no, darkness comes over, and it's very, very childlike in a sense. So you still get, like, the laughs are very well done, but also the fights and the actual mechanics behind the game, very impressive, especially for 2002 at the time. So, for that, it's very good. And it also just made the franchise exist in a sense. Not in a sense, it was the first one ever made. It was the one that got many captivated into the game. So for that, we get to that. I should also explain real quick. Some of you may know the tier list that I'm using. I'm not going to do an S because I don't quite understand what this would be. And then also, E will also be eliminated. So there's no E. So it's just A, B, C, D, and F. Just very simple to the point. Now, we're doing good. Kingdom Hearts 1 just come out. It's a JRPG or junior role-playing game. And it's doing great. You got a mixture of Disney characters. You got Final Fantasy characters. Nothing could go wrong. And then they decided to add a card element to it. I don't know. Now, I have attempted to beat this game on multiple occasions, but have not. It's just, it's so tedious, it's very difficult to do, but it is also the first time when we start to see more of Organization 13. We'll get more on that. Some stuff that I should probably explain for newcomers to the series. So Kingdom Hearts is essentially, we're not talking about a heart, we're talking about more of like a soul or emotion. A soul is a heart, in a sense. And when a heart or soul is taken out of a person, they turn into a heartless, which is what you fight in Kingdom Hearts 1 and all of the rest. However, this one was the first that introduced what's called a nobody, which is when your heart leaves you, or your soul, you turn into a heartless. But your body turns into a husk or a nobody. But if you're a strong nobody, then you become a strong somebody, and you are part of this organization 13, where you can retain all of your human form and can talk and stuff. Complicated, I know, but just look it up. It makes sense, I promise. And then when both the heartless and nobody are defeated, you merge back into your original person, which is called somebody. Just don't look it up. I cannot make this up. It was a rough year. But anyway, back to this specific one. It's because this is when I believe it came out on the Game Boy at the time, and this had a more card-based strategy. So instead of just mashing one button, you had to play cards with strategically place them and make smart moves and blocking. It was essentially you're playing poker while also trying to defend yourself by everyone else. So I have never beaten it, mainly for the sense that it's not fun in my opinion. But I still very much love the voice acting behind it, all the no pun intended art behind it. The different characters are really fun. I just think if that part element was taken out, the main function of the game, it'd be fine. So for that, we're gonna put good to see. Alright, so now we get Kingdom Hearts 2, which was the first one in the series that I've ever played, and I absolutely loved it. I remember my sister actually showed me the game and introduced me to everything, and I absolutely loved it. I felt like going from 1 to 2 to 1, it made me appreciate 2 more, in the sense that I was able to understand more of the story. There was actual depth involved. Spoiler alert, but the game came out a long time ago. Goofy died, which I thought was a very big step for both Disney and Square Enix to allow. And he didn't die, he got knocked out by a boulder, but it was assumed he died. So I thought that was a very bold move on them. The characters are funny. Just overall, it's very just fun. It's more momentum. You get to move around more. The different transformations that you do in the game is just phenomenal. It's a really fun time. So, purely on nostalgia and everything, I'm gonna put it in the game as well. Now it's gonna be a while. I know, but it's gonna be a while till we see Kingdom Hearts 3. Deal with it. It's fine, because then Square Enix decided to get a whole bunch of all these different kind of side games, but they're important to know so that you know the final game. It's fine. I can pull up the chart again if anyone gets confused, because now we're dealing with 358 over 2 days, which is, I don't know how that name was made. I don't understand the name, but I did play the game. It was on the DS, and for anyone wondering, you can actually see him right there. This kid's name is Roxas, and in the first game, Kingdom Hearts 1, Sora stabs himself with the Keyblade, which is the main weapon of Keyblade wielders. And when that happens, your heart gets out, and this is Sora's Nobody. This game focuses heavily on that, along with where like everyone went and like what happened more behind Chain of Memories and like who all the different members are. It's not bad. Also for anyone asking, you may see on the bottom of the screen, on the bottom left, there's like this weird little rip-off ant with yellow eyes next to Jared Wraith stuff. Yeah, that's a hardness, just so anyone knows. The thing below me is Ozma, not in the game. But But yeah, this game heavily focuses on Roxas's journey and understanding as to who he actually is, as to being a nobody. Again, I haven't beat it, but I have played it, and it's actually a very, because I have like watched all the cutscenes to actually understand it, and it is a very emotional game, but it's very repetitive. Is the only problem. Is now, don't get me wrong, and this is how I think what happened. Did good on the fighting mechanic. I don't know what happened, and then they did really good, and then they kind of dumbed it back down to Kingdom Hearts 1, which is fine. However, it's also in the sense that it's just not the same. Like to go from Kingdom Hearts 2, which was on the PlayStation 2, to this, which was on a DS, it's a big leap, and it's just, there's only so much you can do in the game itself. So for that, and also you go to many of the worlds that are in Rechain of Memories. So for that, I'm gonna put it in. No, I'll put it in C. Alright, so for people who haven't played the games, this is gonna make no sense. Not one. So this is Birth by Sleep, and Birth by Sleep happens 10 years before Kingdom Hearts 1. So this is a prequel of everything you know, and I don't understand it. Now, once again, this game is very good. Kind of repetitive, and a lot of people really liked the fighting mechanic. In the previous one, you just spam the button a lot, and then hopefully something happened. But, hold on, I'm going to play it. Okay. I think that way now you can actually hear me. So, yeah, with this one, you were introduced to these new characters, and no one of which you really knew, except for the original Organization 13 members. So that was interesting to do too. A lot of the questions that were asked about this was more about like, this was also released on the PSP. We're going all over the place, kind of, with all of these different game releases. But this one I felt lacked something, and I don't know what. I think what happened was that, due to the PSP, like how little the thing was, and I didn't play it on that. I played it on the PlayStation 4 when that re-release came out. A lot of the worlds are very barren, in the sense that the worlds are short, they're small, nothing really happens, and when you look around, it's a lot of empty dead space. I feel like that could have been improved upon. But the ending scene is very well done, in the sense that there's secret endings at all of these, but in Kingdom Hearts 2, the secret ending was essentially the most climactic scene in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. So you really had to understand these in order to understand this at all. If you started with this, which is where the timeline started, you could understand these, but only later, and it wouldn't quite make any sense. But overall, looking at it from like a game point of view, it does hold a lot of different story elements for the rest of the series from here on out. But it's just not. I'm not a huge fan of the fighting mechanic behind it and the world escaping. So I'm gonna give it a B. Again, there really isn't any like, oh yeah, you should play these and you shouldn't play these. It's more of like, take it what you will. Just kind of Jared rates. Deal with it. Okay, now this is the first time that I remember, even as a kid, that I was thinking, or a younger kid, who was like 12, that I'm like, okay, now they're just re-releasing these games. In the sense that this game is verbatim Kingdom Hearts 1, just now it's digitalized, which is fine, and I know that's complicated, but it doesn't quite make sense. So with Kingdom Hearts 1 and all the other ones, you were kind of dealing with more, like, original stories, and it was fun and unique. Again, this, I think, came out on the DS as well. Might be wrong. but it's just not, it's not a fun experience because you're playing the exact same game, and even the bosses, I remember, they were more just hallways in a sense. Like in Kingdom Hearts 1, there's an Alice in Wonderland world, and in that world you have to fight this giant, like, weird rip-off stick bug type of thing that's all colorful. And then in this one, you're kind of chasing after him. Thanks for the oof, Tyler. Also, just in case anyone's wondering, Tyler, he makes good videos. Go watch them. I've been in one? I don't know. I know I was in one. I don't know about any other one. But he does good videos, so go and watch them. He also has a channel called The Fact Finders, which he just did, and he live streams the presidential debate. So if you want to watch that, go over and watch it. I'm not gonna do that on here, but I don't know. Do I look like a politics channel to you? No, I'm rating a video game that's for kids. It's an emotional game, but either way. You're, as I was saying, just as a... This computer is going to be thrown out the window in a minute. It's fine. We're working on it. I think I fixed it. I ain't got a clue. Trying my best. Here we go. Okay, real quick, before I crash again, probably. Recoded is not a game that you need to play, but it's fine, but it's not one you need to play. Just play the original Kingdom Hearts 1. Okay. Probably Recoded didn't like me talking about Recoded bad, so that's why it's like, let's crash twice. Okay. I think we're good. Cool. Alright, so the next one. This got a couple people upset because they went like, oh man, when they released it, they said it's Kingdom Hearts 3 D. And then a lot of people got confused in the sense that the reason why it's Dream Drop Distance. So, Kingdom Hearts 3D, it was released on the DS 3D, or whatever that was. So, it's a that game I really like. I didn't play it on the DS, but I played it on the re-release when they had that on console. And this game, I think, is pretty up there. Again, some of the worlds are barren, some of the story I think will be improved upon, but you also have all of these, you don't, in the other games, at least the two title ones up here, your party was essentially Sora, Goofy, and Don. They were there in almost every game. In this one, however, you're more dealing with these weird things called Dream Eaters, or something like that, and they're more like tiny, like there's a panda, there's a dragon, so you have these actual animals that are by your side. A lot of the worlds too are also like in Kingdom Hearts 1, you had Alice in Wonderland, Tarzan, Pinocchio inside the whale, which I thought was like, that's the coolest thing. I look back and I'm like, that's annoying. In this one, you got some more bizarre worlds. You have Fantasia, which I thought was very just out there, especially since that's a neat world because the music fits with exactly what you're doing. But at the same point, why Fantasia? Because it also makes the cutscenes all out of whack and confusing. Followed by you have the Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is fine. It's not the most memorable world. My point is that the worlds aren't memorable, is what I'm trying to say. But like in these, you had these cool names, like you had like Destiny Islands, which makes sense later. And then you have The World That Never Was in Kingdom Hearts 2, which is still by far one of my favorite worlds. This one you didn't really have any of that. It was just more of, we gotta introduce this and that real quick before the real third one. So, but overall it did introduce something called flow motion, which allowed you to really move around. I said that Kingdom Hearts 2, I loved how you were able to move a lot more easily and freely, but Kingdom Hearts 3D or Dream Drop Distance really cemented exactly what I was looking for in the style. Alright, now we got this weird one, which the only reason I say it's weird is because I don't really consider it a game. I think it's more of a demo, in the sense that this was released in the Kingdom Hearts 2.8 package, which was, it had the Dream Drop Distance, this, and then one I'm going to get to in a minute, which was a mobile game. And you have this, and I remember playing it, and I'm like, oh, that's neat, it's a whole new game. It's about 2 to 3 hours, maybe 4 if you wanted to really take your time on it, and it was really just to show off the different gimmicks of the game, of like exactly what each could do. You play as one of the side characters who is in, or not a side character, but like a main character in Birth by Slave, Aqua is her name. And then with this, it's very, very quick, in the sense of you kind of have to really take your time if you want the game to take a long time. I remember I completed this in one sitting, and it was like, that's it. There's a lot of different challenges you can go back to and do, but it's mainly just to show off exactly the graphics, the fighting style, introduce like 2 or 3 different things, but not a whole lot. But yeah, for that, I just more consider this a demo. It's still memorable and it's a fun experience, but at the end of the day, it's still just the demo. Still better than Recoded, don't get me wrong, but not really a real game. Alright. This one I hear a lot of people going back and forth on. This is a mobile game. This is a game that is on your phone. You can get it for free. The reason why people aren't a huge fan of it, it's really long. It's a whole game in a phone, and you have to have Wi-Fi for it. That's the one thing I think that could improve upon it. Get rid of the online and then just have a Kingdom Hearts game you can play on the go anywhere. That's fine. But I don't want to use data or anything like that to play this. However, I still haven't beaten it, but I'm very, like, in depth of it. So I still very much enjoy this one. Mainly due to the little cutscenes you get, and it delves more into the story and this and that. They had a competition in, and by they, Square Enix, saying if you beat the game by this point, you would be in Kingdom Hearts 3. That's when everyone went and beat the game. Sorry. Sorry, green screen. Or Cosmos, I'm sorry. And if you beat the game, you would be in the main game that everyone's been looking forward to. The game, Kingdom Hearts 3, I'll get into right after this. But it's a very, very minimalistic game. It's not really one that like grabs a lot of people's attention, but more in the sense that it's still very fun. It used to be online, so you would actually be able to play it on your computer, and you would be able to all of that. I'm trying to pull it up now so that I can kind of show you at least somewhat of what it looks like. But yeah, similar. It's very similar to Chain of Memories, which in a sense is it's okay, but it's at the same point it's not fun in the sense. I'm a fan of mashing the button and then something happens. That's just what I like in these games, so that's why it's really just fun to do. This is being annoying, but I'm sure if you just go online and look it up, you can find that this game, it's just fun overall. Not as good as these, but still not terrible. I don't want to put it right next to Dream Drop Distance, because I still think that that's a better game. But it would be like here, at like somewhere around there. So I'm always one that's the better of the two. So I'm gonna go up. I think that's better. I also have a lot of OCD, so I'm gonna put that right there. Alright. Now for the game that everyone has literally been waiting for years for. So, if you remember, this one was essentially all the way kind of like, it was a while ago. I want to say like 2004 was when that happened. And then, finally, after all the teasers and the different releases behind the game, Kingdom Hearts 3 was finally released to the world. Finally! Here we go. Okay, one thing, let me just kind of shrink that real quick, because I want to go back to this real quick. So unlike the other games, they're really high definition, and they're very nice to see. However, here, I'm gonna pull this up. I know it's gonna be green screen a little. That's fine, you don't need to understand that. What you need to look at, though, is right there, which is really hard to see. You can kind of just see the cartoonish style of it. Overall, I like that style. It's not like a bad style to have. Just because it's just fun. So, all I would say about the game is that it's fun, and I would be correct in my mind in Jared Rates. But Kingdom Hearts 3, it was announced back in 2013, so it is, and then it came out on January 23rd, 2019. So it's been around 6 years since this game was released. And first it was saying, oh yeah, we're gonna come out in 2015, then 16, then 17, then 19, and then finally that was the day that it was like, yes, finally. So I know I've been waiting forward for this game for a really long time, and I've heard mixed, actually. I've heard, because some of my friends also play this, some were very pleased with the results, and they were like, this is my favorite game ever, and some were like, this is the worst game ever. For me, I think it actually is very well done, in the sense of how it ties up the entire story that it was trying to tell since the very beginning. It lives up to the expectations of exactly what the other ones were building up to for all of these years. I think, like, here's the thing. If you just play Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and then 3, you would have no idea what's going on because of all of these. Well, not that one, but all of these ones. So, for that just shows how invested not only myself, but all the fan base is into Kingdom Hearts 3. And you've been waiting for years and years. And these, like, in the other ones, you heard me say that Dream Drop Distance was like Fantasia and The Hunchback. Those are fine, but this one has like Tangled, Frozen, Big Hero 6, all of like these modern movies. It even has like Wreck-It Ralph as a summon. You got Toy Story. No Pixar film before this one has ever been in a Kingdom Hearts game. So for that reason, I really like how they incorporated that. So yeah, I could go on and on about this game. But for that, I'm gonna put it up here. And no, I didn't on purpose just decide to put all the like 1, 2, and 3 as A's. It's because I really think that they earn it. I think they're very well done. So that just about does it for this. So now I'm gonna just kind of. Also, yeah, I know a lot of people when they do this, they do like Photoshop or like websites. I use PowerPoint because I know how to use PowerPoint. So now we're just gonna go one by one really quick and go from there. So not that one. So good enough. I mean, we didn't get any F. I didn't think that any game was so bad that it needed to go away. It was still like, that's great. The lowest one I would give was Recoded, mainly because I feel like that was kind of just the exact same way as Kingdom Hearts 1, but done poorly, in the sense that it felt more like a fan game, which it shouldn't, coming from Square Enix. So, I don't know why, I also just don't like the logo. All of the other ones are kind of like they have a hint of silver. This one kind of does, but I don't know, it's very, like, from the others. So, again, I didn't really like this one. Rechain of Memories, it was good, but I didn't beat it, and also, the characters are fun, but I didn't like the combat. Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, very, very repetitive, didn't beat it, but it's just very repetitive. Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, it felt more like a demo, but I still really liked how it introduced to exactly what the game would look like and all of that. And then the top 6, we have Birth by Sleep, really liked it, didn't quite get the combat, but got more used to it, still like the characters a lot, and especially the gimmick that you played 3 different ones. Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, really liked the flow motion of how you could move around from place to place. I should also mention, that got moved over to Kingdom Hearts 3 as well, so I really liked how you were able to move from wherever you wanted. Kingdom Hearts back cover, it's fine, I'm still playing it, but it's in the sense that it's just overall fun and enjoyable. There really isn't much bad. It is kind of repetitive, but you can go online and play with other Kingdom Hearts fans and players, which is just an enjoyable experience to be able to go like, hey, these are people that also like this fan base, so that's very nice. Also, now you can get a little pet, so I have a dog. And then the fantastic ones of the bunch, I would say. Kingdom Hearts 1 introduced the story to everything. It was my second game in the series, but it was still a great one at that. I wouldn't really improve anything, because even the script writing, yeah, it's a cliche of like, my friends are my power, but it's still just like, it's just great. I feel like going from that to Chain of Memories could have lost some people, especially to a new console, but that's what I think makes Kingdom Hearts 2 even better, in the sense that you're now looking at it goes back to the PlayStation 2, you're focusing more on the story. You could tell the story has matured a lot. You're getting introduced to the nobodies and all the different backgrounds of all the different characters, which is really nice. You don't quite get that like conclusion that you want, but more in the sense that it's like, no, because we're gonna lead up to that, and then these games explain what happened, so you could go to Kingdom Hearts 3, which that game really, it felt like a satisfying conclusion. I remember when I first saw the ending, which you can YouTube that or play, whatever you want to do, but yeah, the conclusion of this one is absolutely great. I thought it caught me off guard. The ending of the game, it went on for a long time, which I heard a lot of people complain about, but I think it was a long enough time. I feel like if it went any longer, it was any shorter, you wouldn't get the same feelings you did at the very end of the game. So for that, I feel like there was a satisfying conclusion. As to where the series is going from now, I mean, it's kind of complicated enough. So I don't know when or if we'll get Kingdom Hearts 4 per se, but more in the sense that I feel like this is the order of exactly when each game happens. So it goes the mobile game, Birth by Sleep, Black Mirror Passage, then Kingdom Hearts 4, then 358 over 2 days, and Rechain of Memories happen around at the same time, and then Kingdom Hearts 2, Recoded, Dream Drop Distance, and then Kingdom Hearts 3, which I know that's really complicated, and it's a very confusing timeline, but each game is important in order to understand the entire story. Yeah, you can read a wiki page, but if you play it, it actually makes a lot more sense. So I feel like if we'll get Kingdom Hearts 4, it'll probably be a completely different story. We might get another one of these like background games, I would say, to kind of explain more behind it. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Probably the Square Enix and people game. But that just about does it for me. So thank you all for watching. If you would rate these games in any other order, please let me know. And yeah, I will see you all later. Let me know what else I should rate or review. And yeah, we'll have another enjoyable time. Don't forget, Walter and Russ 3 comes out July 6th, so be sure to watch that. Everything will come to light. It'll be like Kingdom Hearts 3 in a sense, where you'll figure out Dr. Stone's plan. New characters will be introduced. Walter and Ross go through their first murder case, so that's going to be enjoyable. And it's much longer as well as the other two. I don't want to build up the hype too much, but it is probably, as of now, and I know it's not saying much because I've only made like a couple films, but more in the sense that this is a film that has taken about a year to make, so it is very personal to me. I think it is one of my proudest as of now. I really love the film. And that's not me being biased or anything. But I'm just more proud of the film, of the hard work that everyone put into it. It's not just me behind it, all of like the actors and suggestions from people of like how to do things better is just incredible. So I really love that people are as passionate for Walter and Ross as I am. So be sure to keep a lookout July 6th. And until next time, I will see you all later. Bye. See you later.